Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Over 20 persons have been killed in fresh violence in Basa local government area of Plateau State. President Buhari says gunman attack is madness gone too far. Federal government confirms 3 cases of monkeypox virus in Bayelsa State following results of tests conducted at WHO laboratory in Dakar, Senegal. Aggrieved PDP members in Anambra State threatened to back another party candidate in the November the 18th governorship election in the state. And over 30 killed in a spate of wildfires in central and north Portugal. A quick reminder now that for more on our top stories and others, please visit our website, channelstv.com and youtube.com/channelsweb. And log on to m.channelstv.com to watch us on your mobile device, or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. The Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You also have access to the Eyewitness feature, with which you can share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app and then tap and swipe to reveal the menu, and then follow the instructions. Now we have some pictures that we'd like to share with you, and let's do so. We can begin from Abuja, showing a cottage hospital off Jeremiah Useni Road. Our Eyewitness reporter says the building has been abandoned for a very long time and is pleading with the government to complete it. Next is this photo of a dump site badly located along Shagamu-Bini Expressway immediately after the Taishanari University, Ijebu-Ode. Our Eyewitness reporter says it obstructs traffic and poses health issues as it's close to the residential areas. And our final picture is from Ekeromo local government area of Bayelsa State. Our Eyewitness reporter says the flood is gradually taking over the community, and he's calling on the government to help them out. Thanks a lot for all your pictures, and do send us some more. Let's move on to some politics, and members of the Anambra grassroots movement are raising their voices against the alleged imposition of candidates on the election ahead of the November the 18th governorship election in that state. And one way they're making their position known is by flagging off a public enlightenment and awareness campaign on credible Oka, the Anambra state capital. Members of the group, who are also aggrieved People's Democratic Party loyalists, unanimously condemned the hijack of the party and alleged imposition of candidates.
So I got Kabaro.
Members of the Anambra grassroots movement gather in their thousands at the Dr. Alex Ekweme Square in Oka to lend their voices to the campaign for credible and non-violent elections. The plan by the organizers is to take the campaign to all the local government wards in the state to ensure that any activity that would generate violence is nipped in the bud. They are protesting against an alleged hijack of the People's Democratic Party in the state.
The grassroots movements, we do a lot of voting this time. No more cheating, no more political rubbish, which we saw in PDP. The main PDP people were left behind, and they called hijackers to take over the PDP, and we are saying no to it.
Anything at all that will trigger off violence in any manner, we are saying no to it, so that the election will come and go peacefully.
But the chairman of the group is more concerned about the conduct of peaceful, all-inclusive and credible elections where all votes must count.
One thing is sure, PDP members in Anambra, the original PDP members, not the hijackers, not the intruders, not the meddlesome interlopers, the original members, by the grace of God, must participate in the forthcoming governorship election.
In a unanimous voice affirmation, the crowd rejected the candidacy of Oseloka Obaze as a PDP flag bearer in the coming elections.
No, Obaze, no. No, Obaze, no. No, Obaze, no. No, Obaze, everybody know. No, Obaze.
All they want is a peaceful meeting that will allow them to address the issues troubling the PDP in Anambra State before November the 18th. Cut.
Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party in Anambra State is not bothered by the claims raised by some aggrieved members of the party. Rather, the party has flagged off a rally to affirm their confidence in the choice of Oseloka Obaze as the party's flag bearer in the November the 18th governorship election. The rally had in attendance the National Caretaker Committee of the party, Senator Ahmed Makarfi, the former Vice President of Nigeria, Alex Ekweme, and other leading executives of the party.
All the people in Anambra State are PDP people. And if you go to the main market now and carry 1 million people to Ekweme Square, once you pay them, they will be there. And once they are there, they answer PDP because Anambra is a PDP state. So I want to know those who are, you saw all the cream la cream here, okay? If you know those who are in Oka, you tell me.
I don't know of anybody now, with the exception of Ivan Oba or whomever. But the other candidates, they have given in. They have accepted Oseloka Obaze as the one who won the primaries. So
let's cross over to Abuja now. Here's Linda Akibe. Linda.
Hello, Ijoma. We begin with the Judiciary. The Chief Judge of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Justice Ishaq Bello, has turned down the request by the Attorney General of the Federation seeking a warrant to summon the senator representing Bauchi Central, Issa Misal. The office of the AGF had on October the 10th filed 2 separate charges against Senator Misal for making false allegations against the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Ibrahim Idris. In the charges filed by the police, Senator Misal is accused of making a false statement that about 10 billion naira is being received by the Inspector General of Police on a monthly basis from oil companies, banks, hotels and individuals as bribe for police protection. But Justice Bello rules that the government cannot anticipate that the accused would not accept summons. He asks that the senator be served the summons and then return to court with particulars showing whether he received it or not. The case has been adjourned to October the 19th to enable service of the case summons to Senator Misal. Counsel to the federal government refused to comment on the case.
Actually, I don't have the mandate to address the press. I don't know whether you can maybe go to the office and meet the Attorney General. I think he's in the right position to address you on anything. But I'm here for the case. That's the only thing I can say.
Meanwhile, the EFCC has been able to establish a prima facie case against the former Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Mr. Akpobolokemi. That's because a federal high court sitting in Lagos believes the anti-graft agency has been able to prove its case beyond doubt. Presiding Justice Ibrahim Buba held that the former DG and 5 other persons standing trial with him have to defend themselves against the 2.6 billion naira fraud allegation. A Judiciary correspondent, Shola Shoyele, has the reports.
In December 2015, the EFCC arraigned the former Director General of NIMASA, Akpobolokemi, alongside 5 others for allegedly diverting 2.6 billion naira. The EFCC says that the funds were approved by former President Goodluck Jonathan for the implementation of a security project sometime in 2013. All 6 defendants pleaded not guilty to the 22-count charges of conspiracy and diversion made against them. Following their plea, the anti-graft agency, through its prosecutor Rotimi Oyedepo, opened its case against the defendants. By the time it closed its case, 12 witnesses had testified, and a total of 77 exhibits were placed before the court in proof of the charges. Instead of the defendants to put in their defense to the prosecution's case, they all elected to file their no-case submission, contending that the prosecution failed to establish a prima facie case against them to warrant their entering any defense. Mr. Akpobolokemi, through his lawyer, Joseph Nwobike, specifically argued that no document was placed before the court to show his signature authorizing the movement of the funds. He described the evidence given by the prosecution witnesses as mere hearsay, which had no legal weight and which did not connect him to the offense. He then urged the court to come to the conclusion that no case had been made against him which required him to make any defense. But the EFCC countered by insisting that the former DG, being the head and chief accounting officer of NIMASA at the time of the alleged fraud, could not by any stretch of imagination claim to be innocent. The commission also submitted that even if former President Goodluck Jonathan approved the security project, it was Mr. Akpobolokemi, acting as the DG of NIMASA at the time, who constituted a committee to execute the project, during which funds allocated to it were subsequently diverted for personal use. In his ruling on the matter, Justice Ibrahim Buba held that the evidence of all the prosecution witnesses who testified dwelt extensively on the conspiracy of all 6 defendants, and as such, a prima facie case had been made which required them to explain the roles they all allegedly played. He then fixed the 30th of October for the testimony of the first defense witness. Shola Shoyele, Channels Television News.
And staying with the courts, the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has ordered the interim forfeiture of funds allegedly belonging to an oil company, Ontario Oil and Gas, over alleged fraudulent sale of refined petroleum. Justice Hadiza Shagari issued the orders following an ex parte application filed by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission seeking the forfeiture of the funds. In its application, the Commission listed Ontario Oil and Gas Limited and its MD, Mrs. Ada Ugongadi, as the first and second respondents, respectively. An affidavit of urgency deposed to by an investigating officer of the EFCC in support of the ex parte motion states, among other things, that the EFCC received a petition from one barrister, Joan Ganadanu, against the second respondent, complaining of fraud, diversion and conversion of proceeds of sale of refined petroleum products valued at 1.96 billion naira. And when the news at 10 returns, Nigeria and Ghana sign agreement on maritime border security to boost trade between both countries. That's on Business News. Join us again.